This is RIFF Radio, a presentation of RIFF Magazine Online, your source for music news, interviews, and concert reviews from the Bay Area and beyond. Find more at riffmagazine.com. I'm Mike DeWald. Mudvayne roar again. The metal band is back with its first new material in 16 years, with the companion singles Hurt People, and Sticks and Stones. At the same time, the band is also celebrating its start with a new tour marking 25 years of their debut album, LD50. Mudvayne will be appearing at this year's Aftershock in Sacramento alongside Deftones, Blink-182, Korn, and Bring Me the Horizon. Joined by vocalist Chad Gray out on the road with the band. Now, Chad, there's plenty to be excited about, but just on a personal basis, what is it like for you to have new Mudvayne music back out there for the fans after so long?
Just the reason I came back for the band. You know what I mean? Because we felt like we went away, before people were ready for us to go away. So, Vinny died. And we did the Celebration of Light tours with Hell Yeah. And then, I didn't really know what to do, and I was just talking to my buddy. He's like, you could go back there. I'm like, man, I don't know. Well, he's like, bro, you went away before people were ready. He's like, go back and continue the legacy, and that was my plan from the start, you know what I mean? But the thing about us is we live the four corners of the world. Ryan lives in North Carolina. I live in Vegas. Greg lives in Texas, and Matt lives in Madison, Wisconsin. So for us to get together, just to start putting things together is like, it's a whole process. We have to have, residential, like some sort of residential housing usually. It's been like that through every record we've ever recorded. You know what I mean? Like we get together to write in another city that has a residential home, and then we spend the time there writing, and then we go into the studio, which has a residential studio, so we can stay there. And he said, like, it's not just like, everybody's from Vegas and we just all drive down the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a production to make it happen. It's also very expensive, so we tried to do it, some other ways. We kind of tried to do a mail order where we sent around riffs and ideas and stuff like that. That didn't really work. You losing the essence of what Mudvayne does by, being able to get in a room with each other. And so then we got together in Nashville more with just an engineer, and, we got some stuff going there, but it was just like, we hadn't been together in 12 years. We're coming back together. There's like still some weird new pangs and stuff like that, that we were working through and stuff, all good. But it was just like, we're back in a room together after over a decade. Things are just not going to, just like, it's not like riding a bicycle. You just go pick up where you left off.
Right.
So it took us a couple moments like that. And then we got Nick Raskulinecz involved, the producer, and he saved the world. I mean, he saved the day. Like he came in there, he does what a producer does. He balances everything. He's making sure that everybody's playing for the song. You know what I mean? Like, and all that stuff. Cause I mean, he's done like a couple Foo Fighters records. Like the dude is no stranger to, what a great song is. But, we delivered these songs, man. He was really, he didn't have a lot of comments about what to do, but he, kind of shared our vision, like, just like, let's pull it back a little bit and not scare people away. You know what I mean? Like, we want to make these very listenable and presentable and palatable, so, and I think they're exactly what we needed to do. Hurt People is just a great kind of sock in the mouth, like, hey, we're Mudvayne, we've been gone a minute, but we're back. And then, Sticks is more in the realm of like what Mudvayne is truly capable of. You know what I mean? Like what we did with Not Falling, what we did with World So Cold, what we did with Happy, what we did with, just like those types of songs that aren't excruciatingly heavy. You know what I mean? Like just writing a good song.
I was going to say there's sort of references to the band's past, but they're also very new sounding. It's a new sound for Mudvayne. Did you know from the start musically the direction you wanted to take these, or did that sort of take time to develop?
No, yeah, that was the like making sure we all get on the same page. Because like, I mean, you haven't been together for 12 years. You come back together. Do you all want the same things? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you all have the same idea of what you want a song to be. And I kind of said that during the process. I'm like, hey, dudes, like just like straight up, like just say what you got to say. I was like, you know what, man? I was like, maybe we don't all want the same things. And if that's the case, that's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? I'd rather fucking us agree on that and try to work around it than force it. You know what I mean? Because I can feel the forcing of it. You know what I mean? That's not what I want to feel as an artist. I want to feel like I'm doing the best I can do for the song to make the song as great as it can possibly be.
Now, sort of related to that, you go back to 2021, the band reforms, you get back out on the road. Did it help sort of touring first and kind of building that musical chemistry again before that you look to get in the studio and write and kind of tackle all those logistics you were talking about before?
Yeah, I mean, it helps to get reacquainted, and, we hadn't been around and we're so weird, like, anyway, man, like we all have busy lives and stuff like that. So when we're not together, we don't like text all the time. We don't communicate. We don't call each other all the time. Like, obviously, I left Mudvayne, Greg left Mudvayne, did Hell Yeah. So, Greg and I were busy as shit. We did both bands for 2 years, wrote and recorded and toured with Hell Yeah, wrote and recorded and toured with Mudvayne. And then, it's just like, that's just where we felt like we wanted to be at that time, was going the other way. And then, but it's come back around. And when we announced our return, it was really great to hear and to feel that people still cared about what we did, because I've always thought it was an extremely important band to to metal, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's just like, it feels good. Like when we came back, like the ground, like you can almost feel the ground shaking, what I mean? It's just like, okay, people are really excited about this. And then we got on the Wimmerfest and like, kind of made our comeback. And then we did that first tour. And just like a lot of just serious excitement and stuff like that. But like, then you tour the next year and, it's like, you can slowly kind of just feel it declining or whatever a little bit. You know what I mean? Not that people aren't still excited to see us play, but I knew that that's where we're at. I mean, there was a level of desperation within me because that's the reason I came back, to it in the beginning was to continue the legacy. And then, like just kind of like I wanted the ground to shake again. And I knew what it was going to take. It was going to take us giving, you're servicing your fans, man. You know what I mean? You're giving something to your fans, and your true fans want that, man. It seems like people are receiving both tracks really well. I don't really know because I don't really know what countless tens or hundreds or thousands or millions of people are going to think. You know what I mean? I just don't know. But all I could do with my music is to write it with honesty, and do my best to just keep it that way, keep it on the level, keep it honest, and keep it just try to make it as good as I can. And then when it's just like the song's mine until I release it, and then it doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to everyone else. So I'm hoping that, you always want to see people embrace, your creativity and your work because you work hard. It's hard, So it's a great reward. It's very fulfilling to see people really loving what you did.
Yeah. It has to be a trip to some degree to go out there, especially on tour like this one, go out, play these shows for fans who've seen you maybe tons of times and are so excited to see the band again, but then also play to fans who've maybe never seen Mudvayne live before. Maybe some of them were too young for some of the early albums. What is that like going out there and having this dynamic?
Yeah, man, it's great. You know what I mean? Like, we get like our fans are a little older in the tooth, longer in the tooth, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like, especially with the resurgence of the kind of new metal thing or whatever like that, it's like we're very that and we're back. And, I think there was that was a bit of a perfect storm, you know what I mean? And I love it. I mean, I love it, man. I see young kids up front and I'm like, ain't no goddamn way that dude was alive last time, you know what I mean? Or that kid was still in his pants, you know what I mean? Like, he's probably 6 the last time Mudvayne walked on stage, you know what I mean? So, but now he's 21, 22, 25, I see it like all those varying degrees of young age, from, 15 on up to, 30 or whatever. But those are, to me, even at 30, those are all new fans. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And this latest tour, it's kind of like a little bit like bookends. You've got the new material, you've got a lot of the new songs, and then you're going back to the start with LD50 in 25 years. How did that first show go? What was it like? You playing kind of a different set like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I hate playing outside. I absolutely hate it. And the last night of of course, it's the first show, which is always the toughest. You always want to get that one behind you. Not that you want to go up there and suck, but you just want to get it behind you, man, just so you can get rolling, And, I really don't like playing outside. It's about 70 degrees probably. So it's not, and I don't wear anything. I'm basically wearing a wife beater, what I mean? So like to me, it's chilly when I go out there and stuff. Voice didn't feel great. You know what I mean? Like you got to get it warmed up, and we had audio issues like you wouldn't believe. Like our in-ear, because we all wear in-ear monitors, and our monitors were cutting out for 30, 40 seconds at a time, like blackness, like you couldn't hear anything. And we just kept playing. Oh, and it was happening all night, from the first song to the last song, and a couple times per song, sometimes 20 seconds, sometimes 40 seconds. And we're just, dude, I'm just like, in that moment, man, you just stick to what you know. Like I know these songs, you know what I mean? And I'm just gonna play, man. You know what I mean? And that's what we did. And every time the sound came back on, it sounded like we were in the same spot. So that was a good thing. You know what I mean? But that's just what you got to do. So it's a lot of, just like gremlins and things coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It was a little frustrating, but I'm excited. I'm just excited to get that one behind us. Our crowd was phenomenal. So great. No, I thought it was incredible. First time we ever played Hurt People. So which was really cool. It seemed like people were really digging that track. And so again, that's just that fulfillment, man, to play a new track and see how people respond. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So incredible.
Now, when you're coming up, is there a point that you have that realization of what LD50 means, means to fans, meant to fans, and kind of the staying power that it would have? Do you realize that in the moment that 25 years later you're going to be playing the record front to back?
Yeah, man, it's. That's the thing about it. It's like we wrote LD50 because we were just a band in a basement, you know what I mean? So we had about 4 years to write that thing, you know what I mean? And Dig was actually written in the studio. Nothing Again was actually written in the studio. And Now Forever was actually written in the studio, you know what I mean? Like, but you have all this time to write this music, so you really kind of picking and choosing what you want and how you want to do it. You're flushing it all out. But we toured that album for 26 months. And I mean, it was like nonstop because we just had to go. The first 7 months, right out of the store, right out of the studio, we went out with Slipknot for 7 months. We were the opener for 3 different tours for the first 7 months of our being out. And then we broke off from then and we started headlining our own. Well, we're playing, from like nuts to butts clubs, like 2,000 seaters to fucking 100 people. But it just slowly started building. But that's how you have to do it. You have to have that grassroots thing going. And like, it was very important to me. And I'm glad we broke off and got on our own and went through those hard growing pains, man, because it does a lot for your character, but as we're doing those, as we're going through that first year, 2000 and 2001, and then here comes Dig, and then here comes fucking, all the excitement around that and blah, 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 and then, when that was over, we couldn't just kill it, so we just kept touring. Like we're like just riding the momentum, that started from basically nothing and just crescendo to this madness with Dig and the video and all that stuff. And then, we rode that out for as long as we could. And then it was time to break and go back in the studio and write End of All Things to Come. And again, that first record, you got about, 3 or 4 years, whatever you need, you know what I mean? As much time as you want to take to do it. And then the second one, you got like a month to write it. And it's like same length, same stuff, the same amount of songs. It's just like, it's like, that's when you really feel like you're in the pressure cooker, with music in the business, man. You just like, it's just boom, 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 go, 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 go. And we did that, man. We did that for a long time. Just like right record tour, right record tour, right record tour, right record tour. Like, it's like bam, 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 you know. But that was our life, man. Flying all over the world, playing shows. Some countries where people had no idea how you were. Some people didn't give a fuck, and some people did. You know, it's just like, that's just how it is, man. You just got to do your thing. You got to earn your stripes and stuff. But it's been a cool. You know, I think that one of the things about this tour is like really has me reflecting on the career of Mudvayne and like what we were able to do and the songs we were able to create and some of the great things that we did, some of the shitty things we did. You know what I mean? Like some, you know, you want everyone to be a home run, but they're not, you know? So, but yeah, it's a lot to pontificate. It's a lot to relish on, you know what I mean? It's a lot, you know, it's 25 years, man.
Yeah.
You know, even with a 12-year break, it's still a lot. There's 5 albums, you know what I mean? 5 albums we did. So
I was going to say, in that 25 years, probably not a lot of time to, you know, catch your breath and reflect and think about that stuff. And, you know, all of those, the moments and tours and recording and all of that, things you kind of went through along the way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I love Mudvayne and went and did it with Hell Yeah. And I did 6 albums with them.
Right.
And so like, it's just like, yeah, it's just like work. You know what I mean? Just always grinding. But that's this business, man. It's this business. It's what you do, you know, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I've been able to do it. I'm, you know, I hope that they know how grateful I am for my fans. They give me the ability to be able to do this, and I love the connection that I have when we're playing. I think it's very real. I think it's very genuine, and yeah, it's an incredible connection. And I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for the way that they make me feel on stage. I'm great. I hope that they're grateful for the way that I make them feel, because it's an incredible circumvention of energy. I give them something, they give me something back. I give them something, they give me something back, and it's higher, and it goes until it just blows, and it's awesome. But it's been an incredible career. I've got a lot of great fans spread out all over this world, and yeah, I'm grateful.
And you're looking at the new material, you know, still a lot to excite fans with. You know, you look at these 2 songs lyrically, and, you know, musically they're very different, but I think lyrically they're kind of coming from a similar place, looking at, you know, how people react to, you know, negativity or abuse, you know, the mental impact that has, those kinds of things. Is that the headspace you were in when you were writing this?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, we're at that point in my life where I was doing a lot of soul searching and doing a lot of like I said, like, you know, looking back on my life and stuff like that. It's just all these traumas that I carry, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, I know where it all comes from, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, with hurt people, it's like we're taught, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I think it's a lie. You know what I mean? Like, words hurt, you know what I mean? Words hurt really bad. So, you know, I guess that goes back to sticks and stones, not hurt people. Hurt people is, sorry about that. But, you know, and it's just like, you know, just reflecting on the lyrics, and like, child was used as a weapon. You know what I mean? It's like, that was me. You know, it's just, you know, blood doesn't wash out stains. That's me. You know what I mean? It's like really hard when those words come from someone that you love, you care about. They stain. I mean, it's almost impossible to get rid of them. So, and then hurt people is just like that cycle of man that's probably been happening since the beginning, where whoever hurt us and we project that on the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's even worse, you know, hurt people hurt themselves. You know, and I was a hurt person, and I hurt myself, you know, a lot. And I don't think anyone's ever hurt me worse than I hurt myself. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's ever talked to me as bad as I've talked to myself, because I definitely have that negative self-talk that's in my head. Because when you're used to, you know, you're used to hearing all these ugly words, and then that person or people are removed or whatever, those words are, you're so used to those words being said, you create them on your own, and tell yourself that. And they're way more intense than that was. But that, again, that just comes down to trauma. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. So.
It has to, I'm sure, still be kind of weird is the right word, but for your lyrics and songs that are so personal to you, and then hear stories from fans and the way they relate to songs, or the way it inspired them, or the way it's impacted people's lives, that has to, hearing those stories has to, and
it's huge.
Get old.
It's huge, and it reminds me of what I'm doing is right. Because I think one of the biggest things that I like to try to do, I'm very vague and ambiguous about the way I write. Like, there might be certain lines or whatever that like kind of give things away, but I want people to create their own ending. I want people to create their own story based on what I said. Like, if they could find something in that applies to them, I want them to make it applicable to their life. And maybe it strikes a chord with them to maybe look at it a little differently, so, or to know that there's hope and change. And I think that when I say it, if they relate to it on some way, that it might not even be, verbatim exactly what I'm saying, but if it relates to them and they can draw a connection to it, maybe I help them not to feel alone. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you what, I was an abused kid, and it's a super lonely place, man. It's a very, very lonely place. You don't scream that from the mountaintops. You just don't. You know what I mean? You don't show up at the bus stop the next morning and talk about how you just got your ass kicked the night before. You just don't do it. So you internalize everything. And you push it down, 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 push it down. Next thing you know, you're a fucking powder keg. I don't know. I'm fortunate that I've been able to, have this release. But, it's just like, this is what I do, and this is the reason why that I have to stay honest in my music.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because this to me, this is very real, and I just always hope that I can help.
Now, of course, 2 songs out there now. Did you have is there a full length in mind? Is there things people should look out for in future releases down the road here?
I have no idea, man. Like, and just like we got some other stuff, you know what I mean? Like, definitely possible, but yeah, I don't, as far as like going in and doing a full length, who knows? I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but, could we keep releasing songs into where we can get a full length and then, release it as a full length, even though the songs have been leaked out over the years? I don't know. Yeah. We'll just have to see how it plays out, man. See if we can see if we can keep creating, and yeah, that's it. And I do not know what tomorrow holds. I don't think anybody does, but I'm enjoying today, and I'm excited for the show tomorrow. I'm excited for this tour. I'm excited to get in front of my fans and help them let go. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
A lot of Northern California fans here excited for the band's return to Aftershock this year. In a few weeks, it crept up quick this year.
Yeah, dude. I loved it. I played that tour on Hell Yeah. I loved it. It was so much fun. I always loved the Bay Area shows, man. They're always so great. Yeah. And Sac,
Oh, it's
I just had no.
Sacramento's having its moment right now. It's almost stealing the rock scene, stealing away. There's some great shows happening.
You guys have turned out a lot of good stuff out of there, man. A lot of good bands. So yeah, it's cool to see. But I love that area, man. It's kind of out there hanging out on its own.
No, you're doing something particularly cool on this tour. You can bringing fans in, bringing kind of up close as you get ready for the show. Is that that hour before, that kind of the time when you're kind of locking in, getting in the zone, getting ready for a show?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just that it's part of it's part of the process, man. And that process happens every single night. It takes 3 hours every single night, and just the opportunity to have them share. And I don't think this has ever been done before, like somebody giving somebody this much of their time. I think that's the difference. I know there are people that do guitar giveaways and bass giveaways and stuff like that, but you're not like you probably just get a hand off the guitar, take a picture, and that's it.
Right.
This is actually, I get to sit and talk with them, and like I did my first one last night. It was so great. The dude was playing me like some of his music and a bit of a Q&A. They get to see the process about painstaking, getting those appliances on that I wear on my face and just getting it all going. But I got, I was actually really surprised at how far along I got in the makeup in the time that they were there. But they had
Oh, wow.
yeah, they had a really great time, man. It was really, really cool. And yeah, they were just great people. And that's what I'm excited about. That's what, for me, if you're a really big Mudvayne fan, and I'm hopefully going to create a once in a lifetime experience. This will never happen again. And I've been wearing that necklace. It's sterling silver. I've been wearing that necklace since we came back. Yeah. And I'm offering those in the meet and greet. And that is the only place you will get it. I will never release them. They will never be sold after this. The only way you can get one of these is in the meet and greet. So, if all the meet and greets sell out, or not totally sold out yet, you'll have one of 32 in the world.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Right now I've got one or two. I had one last night, but then I gave one away. So now I've got one or two.
Well, once in a lifetime for sure. Well, the new songs are amazing, and I'm thrilled to see you guys come back up here to NorCal here in a few weeks, and have a great rest of the tour with no ear monitor issues.
Yeah, it turned out it was generators. It was the generators.
Oh, really?
So they were cycling down, and then the planner guy looks at it, he's like, "Give me 30 seconds so I can recycle it all, and we can fire it up, and it'll go away." I'm like, "We're in the middle of a show." What you want to hear? Not that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. I mean, I could walk out with a mic. I guess I got a mic and be like, "Hey, dude, the generators are messed up. We're going to take 30 seconds. Everybody, take whatever, shake hands or what, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, everybody chat amongst yourself. It's just like, to me, it's just like, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's just go. You know what I mean? So we got through it. You know what I mean? We got through it. Had it happen the first time and we didn't all show up in the same place, maybe you take that 30 seconds, but like we know these songs, man. We've been playing these songs for a long time.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. And
oh man, it's great. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, for sure.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you. Thanks to all my fans. I can't wait to see you guys in Aftershock. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was a very good interview, very thought out questions, and very well done. I appreciate you.
My thanks to Chad Gray, vocalist from Mudvayne. Go stream the band's new tracks, Hurt People, and Sticks and Stones. And catch them here in Northern California at Aftershock, coming up in early October. As always, check out more at riffmagazine.com. For Riff Radio, I'm Mike DeWald.